Hello, Tim from Fairplay now on the 6th of December 2021, and I've got some good news, a couple of bits of good news, but before I start with that, I've got some bad news, or rather it's just ridiculous news really, from our beloved mainstream misleader. And what I've seen this morning about what they're coming out with now, you're not going to believe this. Well, you probably will, to be honest with you, but they're blaming all of the increased issues to do with hearts. I think you know what I'm talking about. Guess what they're blaming that on? Yes, cold weather. Yeah, you get more of that during cold weather. And who is going to believe that? Because if that was true, everybody who lives in the Arctic Circle would be dead by now, wouldn't they? And it hardly explains all of these occurrences that are happening in hot countries either. So it's pathetic. It's just not even ridiculous. It's just pathetic now. They really are clutching at straws. It's like watching a drowning man clutching at straws. It really is. But yeah, that is apparently what they're coming out with now. So with that out of the way, I've got a couple of good bits of news. Both of these are from viewers who have left comments under yesterday's video that I did with my wife Lorraine, in actual fact. And a couple of amazing comments. Well, they're all amazing, so thank you for that, but a couple of really good ones. One of them from Stefan Maximum, who's obviously a stand in the Parker, and he said that at his local one they've got a couple of GPs attending now. GPs, I mean, that's fantastic news, isn't it? I mean, when I sort of saw that, I just wanted to punch the air, because honestly, if there's GPs going along to these things now, it's not just some little fringe thing full of crazy people like me. There are doctors going along there now. So that has got to tell you something. Tells you two things really: that there are doctors who are seeing through this nonsense, and some of them are starting to come out and beginning to attend things like the stand in the park, probably marches as well before too long. And yeah, it's just another sign that the mainstream narrative is collapsing. So fantastic bit of news. Thanks for sharing, Stefan. That was brilliant. And another one, a bit of news from New Zealand. Another viewer called Ranter. So thank you, Ranter, for this. And he was saying that in New Zealand, things are really beginning to move in the right direction now. And apparently there was an event in, I think it was, I can't remember what city he said it was now, Christchurch, I think is what he said. And what he said is that the main square there, which is massive apparently, was full of people. And they estimate about 10,000 people, which, when you consider New Zealand's tiny population, that'd be the equivalent of I don't know, about 150, 200,000 people in London. So a huge turnout for that particular country. So again, thanks for sharing that. That's another great bit of news to hear. And another thing, I'm changing a bit of terminology that I talk about in these videos, and I've got all my weird and wonderful sort of code names, haven't I? But I'm going to change a couple of them. You might have heard me mispronounce something, which wasn't an accident. It was a deliberate mispronunciation earlier on when I sort of was talking about the mainstream media, and I'm now going to call it the mainstream misleader. I heard a guy saying that on the event I went to on Saturday at Australia House, and I thought, wow, that is very, very apt, isn't it? Because they do love to mislead us, don't they? And the second one, and this is thanks to reading an article over my breakfast this morning, and it was a very interesting article actually. They were saying that we, the likes of us, are called the Unveied, and they suggested a little bit of a change on that, because anything that has un in front of it has always got bad connotations. It's like the unclean, the unintelligent, the uninformed, the uncooperative. They've always got that kind of negative connotation to it, haven't they? So I'm not going to call the likes of us the Unveied anymore. I'm going to call us the V free, because as this article said, if something's got free after it, the word free, it's always got positive connotations. It's like gluten free, alcohol free, tax free, and it's a much better spin on things. So in future, when I'm sort of referring to the Unveied, I'm going to call them the V free, and I think that's a really good way of going. And if I kind of forget that and still carry on saying the Unveied, because after all, I have got a memory of, or a memory span of a gnat. So if you see me referring to them as the Unveied again, please feel free to take me to task in the comments section below, but I will try and call the likes of us V3 now. So on that pretty positive note, I'll leave it there. Tim from Fair Play now. Thanks for watching.